It's November 12th, 2021. I'm within this flag system. This is my physical realm of whatever, and I'm stuck as a topiary of my own, trying to piece together what happened, because I'm getting more sick being left in this position, and it's becoming more dangerous. And there's and more reputation damaging the longer that this goes on and this direction is pushed. I've never, in the beginning of my life, and even in my mother's life, there would never be a reason why I should ever be arrested, manhandled, raped, thrown into some false imprisonment situations that are really actually happening. But then you get out and now you have this paper record and you look like this horrid creature. But this is the people of New York, how they treat with their disgusting e-commerce and their import-export business of whatever they do. So now I'm stuck in a really bad position, worse than when I was born. It's year 2021, and today I had to call Fidelis, which is this company with that symbol, because I have no money. And now, after the last false imprisonment at the hospital, where Lewis just called, they threw me into an ambulance, took me to the whatever, hit me with a needle, and then I wake up totally naked in the middle of the administration desk at the hospital. Now, from June until now, I've developed some kind of unbeknownst growth that I cannot assess myself because it's in an area I cannot assess. And so now I have to go to some form of gynecological specialty. So I had to make an appointment at a local care facility to reach outside help, since I can't diagnose and I can't see it myself, and it's not something that should be occurring for certain, just like this should not be occurring. And this should heal a lot faster. So I went to go look for my insurance card, and I guess when they took me into the hospital, whatever, I don't have the insurance card, so I had to call Fidelis. Now, my experience with this telephone service is I call the doctors. First of all, they force you to go onto the phone because you have to have some kind of technology in order to reach a healthcare directory. They don't mail them to you. That's one. Two is, when you find a doctor, which has to be done through some internet e-commerce form that you submit, so they're forcing you now to use this shitbag e-commerce society. You now use it, and then they decide which doctors in the vicinity they're going to allow. So you then call to book the appointment. It goes from this is the confusing parts of how did they build the technology systems? Who was in charge, and why did they get the contract in the state of New York? I don't understand. Because you call the doctor, before you get to the doctor, it used to be ring, 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 they answer the phone because you found it in the 9X phone book, which is the yellow pages in the state of New York when I was born. And then there was a secretary or an assistant, a receptionist, perhaps. All these words worked as far as the adults in my house were concerned. They booked the appointment for you and you were done. In 2021, it's gotten so much worse. There's no more yellow pages. There's no more paper directory. There's no local doctor anything. You have to call this number that you have to find on the internet. Then you have to call it, and it becomes this advertising campaign of thank you for calling Pro First, Health Pro First. I wasn't calling Health Pro First. That's where you redirected me because all I wanted was the woman who answers the phone for Dr. Lieberman so I could book an appointment. I really didn't want to have a 15-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute, cabaret show about all the great, I can get a flu shot, and it's the time of COVID, and, all these grandstand, I swear to God, it's like grandstand at Grand Ole Opry. That's what it really feels like. It's disgusting. I'm not impressed. I'm not proud. I think that this was a horrible waste of everything. But here we are. So now it's a push to that. Then I realize I don't have the health card. So now I have to find a piece of paper with the phone number. I call them. They were really kind. And thank God with Fidelis, it doesn't go through like a 20-minute menu process. So then they're mailing me the card, but the doctor doesn't have time until January something or other. This is how the healthcare system in New York is. What I'm not okay with is the fact that everything is pushed to e-commerce and they've wiped out your ability to stay safe, to stay local, and to stay with a healthcare provider that gets to know you. It's like they keep switching. Now that I have no job, no money, now I've had the same healthcare company since I think 2016. But before that, it was every couple of years they kept switching me, which is a security problem because that's my social security number, that's my birth date, that's my address, my home address. It sounds to me like all of these technology companies get some re-up on extortion through all these technology contracts that I don't know who voted them into power. I don't. I would have left it with local doctors, a paper phone book, and a rotary or a push-button device attached to the wall if somebody needs an outside service or to speak to somebody that might be somewhere else. Why did anything change from that? It has only gone in a more disgusting, dangerous direction. This was not for the health of the people. This is actually the complete opposite. Star 1978, star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza. It's Earth, solar system, Milky Way, universe, galaxy is broken. And it's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. That's the update on the health care that they allow, but these are not doctors like physicians of the solar system or the celestial, of the weather pattern. These are not anything to do with that. This is just body machina and trying to put a patch and fix temporarily the disgusting outcomes from being poisoned by multiple factors in the local, between the lighting that is at an X-ray radiological light grade to the types of food, bread and water that we're allowed to eat and drink here, and then some of the other substances that are breathed in. Also today, same note, EPA shows up. Yesterday, I think I made the note, or 2 days ago, I made a note that he had some kind of long, it looked like a sonar thing that you would put inside of a fish tank, or at like SeaWorld or something, to listen to the sonar sounds of the dolphin. He was driving in a New York City EPA car, which has a color coordination of its own. Today, I don't know if it's the same gentleman, but an EPA worker, or a New York City, yeah, Department of Environmental Services or whatever, came with his matching garb, and I asked him, because I was at the stoplight, waiting to cross the street with my umbrella. I said, "Oh," I said, "you're here today." I said, "May I ask what the call was for?" He says, "Well, I have to check the sewers, make sure that everything's working." And I was like, "Oh," I was like, "all right, thank you." And so I thanked him for his service, and thanked him for showing up, and thanked him for performing the test of whatever it is that he's doing. I said, "I greatly appreciate it." And I went back along my way on my walk. Because it's at the very same corner of 40th. I think it's 40th. Where's it, 42nd? It's the one by the City Med Urgent Care. It's that corner where Benjamin Moore is, and the Lazy Cow right over in that. So I don't get a copy of the results. I mean, these are city-run agencies. I don't know as a citizen how and if they give it to the public, and I don't have any kind of like inside network with the city, or any kind of like firemen, policemen, whatever, that I communicate with on a regular basis. And I don't know how one stays in the loop of communications. It's not like they publicize it, or it's not like they send home a health assessment of the area by EPA standards ever. I've never gotten anything in the Federal Post or the U.S. Post in my mailbox with like local health environmental readings. So I don't know how these things and these groups and these pieces get integrated, or where entry point is. It's hard to build like an inroads to the city, since it's like I feel like the city built up around me, and now it's collapsing on me. Star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza. It's Earth, solar system, Milky Way, universe, galaxies, broken.